Hello everybody. I am back today with a new layout for you. I'm showing you the 3 photos that I'm going to be using today. I am also going to be working with this prompt from Nicole's Stash Dive into Summer prompt list. That prompt says use 3 brands or more on a page. We are going to use 3 brands. I am showing you some stamp sets I pulled out. This layout is also for the Paul Your Way into Our Hearts hop. So we have 3 pictures of the lovely fits. You can see I have a lot of different brands. Some of these things that I'm showing you that I pulled, I do end up using. Some of them I don't. I know I didn't use that waffle flower die or those black and white puffy stickers from Fifth and Monaco. For paper and embellishments, I have pulled together some things from Chamel's first collection from American Crafts. Due to the elephant in the room, if you know, you know, I feel comfortable going ahead and digging into my Chamel stash and using some of it. So that's what we're going to use today for this layout. And that might be a theme coming up on my channel where I continue to kind of delve into my stash of beautiful Chamel papers. Again, if you know, you know. So I am cutting down these papers. I knew I wanted that pink one to be kind of prominent, and then I know I want some strips and some more pattern to come in on the left side. I haven't quite decided how many. I'm going to end up with 3 ultimately. For now, I'm just kind of moving things around. You will see me wipe this paper so many times because my dogs are shedding, and I have 3. We have been brushing and brushing and brushing them and trying. I've done my floors so much in the past week, it's not even funny, and yet there's still little dog hairs that are ending up on my thing, but that's okay. It's like I've decided dog hair is like glitter, just goes everywhere. And right around the time next year that I get it all cleaned up, they'll be shedding again. Oh well. Anyway, it's a good thing I love them. That's all I have to say about that. So I've decided where I want my photos to be. I've kind of decided I want more pattern and more color behind that one. So I grabbed a couple more strips of patterned papers. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of decide how I want them to be layered. That number 1, so I have this collection in both physical and digital. And so a lot of my embellishments that I am using today are hybrid, which means I cut them and sized them for this particular layout. That number 1 being the most obvious one that I chose and cut out and printed because I really wanted that number 1 to be big and bold on my page. It's going to actually act as part of my title. Next, I'm going to take all these pieces. I'm going to mat my 3 photos with this kind of white and cream wood grain paper, and then I'm going to ink everything using Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. All these layers. So I'm going to go ahead and get these strips down, and then I'm going to put my photos in place. I'm going to do a simple photo cluster here, and then go ahead and fill in with the stamped elements and the different things that I am going to use for my embellishments. I'm going to pull my ginormous Misty out, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping right on the page. I already have all of these layers and strips adhered down, and that's okay because what I really want is to stamp this cute little coffee cup stamp up in the upper right corner. This stamp set is from Journals of Life, and we're going to use it for quite a number of embellishments and elements on this page. So I will link it up if I can find it, if it's still available. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the coffee mug in the corner, and then in the middle of that coffee mug, I'm going to grab another stamp set from my stash that says Canines, coffee and canines, canines and coffee, and it fits perfectly in the middle of my coffee cup. And then I'm going to add some more embellishments around that corner, but I really wanted that coffee cup to be kind of on my actual like scrapbook page, and then I could layer on top of it. And then I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper that matches my background, because I want to stamp and fussy cut out some standalone embellishments, so not directly on the paper on my layout. I am using a bunch of like brown shades from Catherine Pooler. I am using Over Coffee, Sandcastle, and Macchiato ink pads, and I will leave a link to the Catherine Pooler inks at a cherry on top, and I will list the ink colors I used in case you're interested. And then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut all of these stamped images. The Takeaway coffee cup is an older set from close to my heart. If I'm not sure, it was one of their fall lines. So now I'm going to get to work on my title. My title is going to be First Puppucino. I pulled from my stash this little like block letter stamp set. This is really, really old. It's from a company called Artists Gather that I don't think is in business anymore. It's a really maybe from like 2018 or so. So I know I'm not going to be able to find it for you, but it's just a really simple, it reminds me of like the digital clock font type. It's really cute. I do really like this stamp set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I put the ST after my number 1 that I had printed and cut with hybrid, and now I'm going to spell out Puppucino, and then I'm going to fussy cut all those little letters. And I won't make you watch all of that. The reason that I did this separately and fussy cut all the letters was because I knew that my Puppucino was going to span across that pink paper, and I didn't want to have to worry about how the ink would look on the pink paper versus the white paper when that transition happened. So I just stamped everything onto the same color as my background paper and fussy cut it out. And it helped with placement that way. So now we're going to go ahead and pull all of these multiple brands of products together and create our clusters. This collection from Chamel has this really bold pinky red color in it. I love it, and I love how that pinky red color sets off against the teal and aqua. That was one of my absolute favorite things about this line. And so I am going to go ahead and really try hard to represent that bright, bold, pinky red color through all of my clusters. And what's awesome is that this canvas flare set that I'm going to use from Scrap and Happy Studio has that exact same pinky red color in it, and it is a perfect match. Those canvas flares from Scrap and Happy Studio are such a perfect match for this collection. If you happen to have some of it in your stash, I would definitely head over to the Scrap and Happy Studio shop and grab a set of those canvas flare. If I can find this exact flare set, I will link it up, but otherwise I will just link up the shop. It's a beautiful set. I'm really hoping that it's still in there and I can link you right up to that set that I'm using today. The wood veneers that you see are from Colorcast Design. They were designed by Ashley Horton. These are my last two. There was a whole set of them, and I've used them all but these last two. So using them up on this layout is perfect for like a stash dive layout. Don't forget that Paw Your Way Into Our Hearts is a hop, which means in the description box you will also find loads and loads and loads of other videos, it's a hop. So there's lots of videos down in the description box that will take you around. But you can see here, look how those canvas flare. They went with this whole collection and what I was doing so well, and I had to use them. I love the addition of these flare to this layout. I'm going to grab my Tear It tape from Spiegel Mom Scraps to adhere down my canvas flares and also that acrylic piece. That acrylic piece is from Bramble Fox. It has been in my stash for eternity, and now it is on a page. Yes! This was a fabulous stash using layout that I have for you today. I'm doing really well in my spending freeze. I am doing it with my whole group over at Rediscover Your Stash, the Facebook group. I usually end up cheating and buying stuff anyway, and it's the 15th. The only thing that I did have to purchase was albums because I have run out of layout storage. So I did that this morning, but otherwise I have not purchased any scrapbooking supplies. And I'm hoping the albums come quick because I don't have anywhere else to store layouts, which is becoming an issue. They need to go into albums now. And there we are, all finished with our layout for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to my channel and you have not discovered me yet, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. I put out a good bit of content, and I'm sure you would have a blast hanging out with us. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.